Good morning. I want to highlight something else about Jesus' work on the cross for you today. And that is that Jesus came to the cross and he came willingly. He laid his life down. This is important to note because it's not as though the will of Christ was subverted or that Jesus was hoodwinked somehow into giving himself. Certainly there were people who in that way murdered him, that's for sure, and yet he willingly permitted that. So we see this in a couple of texts. Number one, we see it in Luke 22 when he's in Gethsemane. And we see Christ who wrestles. And as he wrestles in prayer, he submits his will to the will of the Father. And that's important to note because it shows his disposition. It shows his heart in longing to honor the Father. And secondly, we see in John 10 a couple of verses that I'd like to highlight for you this morning. John 10, verse 17 and 18. For this reason, the Father loves me, because I lay down my life that I may take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down, and I have authority to take it up again. This charge I've received from my Father. The authority of Christ extends to his own death. Certainly as he taught and preached, he mentioned his authority, and people recognized his authority. And that becomes a major theme in the Gospels, actually. Mark makes much of Jesus' authority. And the Pharisees struggled to recognize Jesus' authority. But his authority extended all the way to his own life. And the laying it down and the receiving it up again. See, it sets the table both for death and for resurrection. So what I want you to meditate on this morning is that Christ loved you so much that he gave his life willingly for you. Willingly. That yes, people came and they took him as a criminal when he wasn't a criminal. And yes, the Father punished the Son, and in so doing, by doing that, he ended up bearing our sin. And yet, as that substitute, he willingly laid down his life. Meditate on that a little bit and find joy in the fact that he gave himself for you. Take care.